How do you reconcile your understanding that she didn't have a job, so she wouldn't be working late, and then she would be crashing at Zanny's, as you said, ma'am, if I may, crashing at Zanny's, as you told the investigators? How do you reconcile in your mind those two things?
You mean now?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't reconcile with it.
All right. And one of the
reconciling with it, it means that you've come to terms with it. I haven't come to terms with it.
Well, let me use a different word as opposed to reconcile. Okay, they're two different things, because if she doesn't have a job, she's not working late. Correct? Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know if she worked or not. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I mean, you're asking me, I don't know. No one has found pay stubs. No one has found anything. I don't know.
And you've obviously been extremely involved in this case, more than anybody, as far as a lot of the facts and what had happened, because you were looking for her. Do you have any information?
Because this is my granddaughter.
I understand, ma'am. When I say during the time
I'm extremely involved in this case. This is tearing me up every single day because I don't have my granddaughter.
Let me direct you so we can go ahead and talk about what I'm asking.
Can we actually get to the reason why we're here today is to clear Mr. Morgan's client's name, that she's not Zanny?
We're getting there in just a moment.
Okay, please.
But let me go on back here, all right, because I want to focus. There are two different opposite things. One is that she's working and she's staying out and she has to crash over at Zanny's, as you told the police officers. And the other thing is that she wasn't working.
I don't know if she was staying out. You're speculating, and I'm not going to speculate.
Okay.
She could have just been staying with a friend, and her and Kaylee and the friend could have had just a nice night. I have no idea, and I'm not going to speculate on where my daughter was. I'm not going to speculate, and you shouldn't either.
Okay.
You don't have a crystal ball.
Well, I thought you told the police officers, and again, we just looked at the clip, that she would have been crashing at Zanny's. So that would have been your understanding.
That's what my understanding was at that time.
Okay.
And since then, I found out that Casey wasn't working, and I found out a lot of stuff since then.
All right,
but unfortunately, you know, you're asking me something I don't know. I don't know where Casey was at, and I don't know the circumstances.
Is it fair to say, then, if you don't know where Casey was at, it's very possible that your granddaughter was never with Zanny?
I can't speculate. She could very well have been with Zanny.
Okay. But you really don't have any information, and you also know now that she wasn't working during this time period that she said she was.
You know what?
Are you cross-examining her? Or
yeah, you know, I'm not on trial here. Bottom line is,
yes,
thank you.
Time out. You can make an objection. Hold on. No. If you have an objection, the rules of civil procedure are objection to the form. If there's some sort of privilege that I'm impinging on between attorney-client, then you can get involved in this. But I don't want to have you interrupting and coaching this witness because I'm doing an examination.
Not coaching anyone.
I just want to make sure. No. If you have an objection, go ahead and make the objection. But I am entitled to do my examination. I intend to go forward with my examination.
My objection is that you're cross-examining her. Just ask her a question and let her answer it. That's what she's trying to do for you.
Listen, bottom line is, I shouldn't be answering any questions that is not relevant to Zenaida Gonzales that is a civil lawsuit against Casey Marie Anthony.
Okay.
And I am graciously answering these ridiculous questions that have nothing to do with Mr. Morgan's client, that is Zenaida Gonzales.
Okay. Ma'am, we're going to... And
okay.
I understand you want to... If I may, Miss Anthony, I appreciate it. And I have a job to do here, and I understand that you want to short-circuit the process.
I'm not trying to short-circuit anything. You're accusing me of short-circuiting. You know, I'm giving Mr. Morgan what he wants. He wants a frickin' TV show. We're getting it, you know? This is what he wants, and this is why we're here today.
Ma'am, if you can answer my questions... Well, hold on. If you can answer my questions, if you do your best to answer them...
I think I've tried up until this point to answer your questions.
I don't want to argue with you, and I don't want to argue with you. All right, so let's go forward. Okay. So during this time period up to May, when she said she was crashing at Zanny's, you've come to learn now that it wouldn't be because she was working late, because she did not have a job. Is that correct?
That's what I'm understanding.
Okay. So... But your daughter told you she was working late and working, right?
Yes.
Is it fair to say then that your daughter was not being truthful with you?
That's correct.
And that wouldn't have been the only time she was untruthful with you, is that right?
Kids are untruthful all the time.
Well, her being untruthful about this, though, is particularly important because it has to do with your granddaughter, though. So she was untruthful with you about the location of your granddaughter, certainly from this time period when she said when she was working late, she was crashing at Zanny's. Is that right?
I don't know that because she could have been crashing at Zanny's. You're having me speculate that Casey was not at Zanny's. You're telling me that I know for a fact that there is no Zanny.
Okay, let's go forward here. I want to ask you another question. On that point.
Zanny became Kaylee's main primary babysitter, from what Casey said, probably from October, probably around right after Kaylee's first birthday until present time. You know what I'm saying? So this person wasn't made up just a month ago or whatever. But what I'm thinking, I think that Zanny at this point was a real person in the beginning, but I think Zanny is now whoever's watching Kaylee. In my mind,
transferred the
responsibility. The name, yes. So I think she refers to. I believe.
So do you think we're spinning our wheels looking for a Zanny?
I'm not sure, but I have two theories, and I'll share that with you. I think Zanny could either be Amy or Jesse at this point.
All right. So again, we're talking here, and this is today, and this interview with the police was taken some time ago, obviously. I think it was in August of last year. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was like August 1st.
And we've been talking about Zanny and her watching the child, and you just told me that you don't know that she wasn't over at Zanny's. Yet you told the police that you're not even sure if Zanny was a real person moving forward from the beginning.
Again,
I'd be up to the form of the question because that's not what she said.
Let me go back and I'll rephrase it, okay? You've told me for the last, I guess, hour and a half, we're talking about Zanny. 2 minutes, we're talking about Zanny, but you've told police that it was in your mind, there was a thought that Zanny, while she may have been a real person at one point in time, had evolved into anybody that was watching Kaylee.
That was my feeling on August 1st.
Okay. Now, here we are, whatever today is, April 9th. You're saying what you told the police officers on August 1st was not accurate?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so that
but on August 1st, that I believe that Zanny could have been, because Casey at one point told me that one of the pictures that Kaylee was taken at was Zanny's apartment when it was Ricardo Morales' apartment.
I understand the one with the drums, but let's go back with this, though.
There's several.
Okay.
There's several. There's one with Kaylee with her blanket. There's several pictures of Kaylee.
Let me just do this because we got to change tapes, and we'll take just a second here. When you say in this clip, when you're talking to investigators, that you think Zanny may have been a real person at first, but then later it was somebody who was watching, ma'am, if I may, whoever was watching her. That is what you said back there in August. And again,
that's
you were
what I
telling the
said
police
could
officers.
be a possibility, yes. Okay. At that point, we were looking at all possibilities, sir.
Okay. Let's go ahead and switch tapes.
Okay.
Time is 2:24. We'll go off record.